Evening. Hello. It's Wednesday night once again. Second week, was it? First week in October. Good evening and welcome to tonight's YouTube live, coming to you from Bracknell in Royal Berkshire. We've also put the TikTok on tonight to see if that works as well. See how well that works. Although I don't think the battery will hold out for 2 hours, to be honest. I've got an iPhone 8, as you know, and the battery is now, I think, 82%. Mate, what do they call it? 82. It's 82% of what it was when you first bought it. I charge it twice a day, but that's all right. Now, we might have a little bit of a curtailed show tonight because I'm not feeling too good. I had a really busy day yesterday, but I don't think that was it. I did my radio show. Then I went up to the gym. Me and my mate are doing a little bit of gym at the moment. It's not like mad, don't get me wrong, you know, we're not lifting huge blooming 125 kilos of weight or anything like that. You know, we're on the 5 grams, well, at least I am. Not 5 grams, 5 kilograms. That's the lowest one you can get. There was at one point when I started, I didn't put any weights on there at all. I seriously, I didn't put any weights on there at all when I first did it. But we're up to 5 kilos now. He does a little bit more. One of them's 10. There's about 6 different machines that we go on. So I did that. Then after that, I went to the dentist for a checkup. And my dentist has left, and I'm really quite distraught about that. I had a lovely dentist from Lithuania called Mo. He's left now. So I went to see a new lady. Annika Patel was her name. And you know how it is. It's just... when you get used to someone, don't you? Like having your hair cut. It's a bit like having your hair cut, isn't it? Eh? And anyway, so I went in there full of anticipation. I went in there. And what a lovely lady. She wasn't old, about 30 to 35 sort of age. And immediately I felt at ease, which is exactly what you want in a dentist. You don't want to feel... You know, like, and they know when you're nervous because you're like holding on to the sides of these chairs, aren't you? Right? So I went in there. She got that rusty old nail and started poking around in there. And she said, any problems? I said, well, I've been in a few weeks ago when Mo was here because a little bit of tooth broke off at the back. Right, it's right at the back on a sort of little side bit of tooth. A tooth which has got quite a lot of filling in it already. And Mo told me I'd probably need a crown on it. So she had a look. She had a look at all my other teeth. No problem with that. Then she started poking the gums. And that was fine as well. I think they look to see if they're bleeding or not, don't they? Something like that. And she said, she said, I've had a look. You can have a crown if you want. The only thing is it's quite near the nerve. And it might take you a long time for the nerve to kind of deaden a bit. Now, I've got experience of this because when that particular tooth was when that particular tooth was filled some time ago, that was at the private dentist, you see. This is NHS, right? I used to go to this private dentist. It used to cost me a bloody fortune. Minimum of like £300 every time I went. Now, £22.50 or whatever it is. Happy days. And ever since I've been going to the NHS one, they've never found anything to do until that bit of tooth broke up. And that's been about 6 or 7 years now. Just goes to show you, doesn't it? Anyway, when I was at the private dentist, he said that one of the fillings looked like it needed redoing. I mean, we don't know, do we? It's a little bit like me with cars. You know, the car stops. I don't know what's wrong with it. That's why I pay someone to do it, dear. Come and lift the bonnet and have a look, please. I don't know what to do. Oh, it's easy. All you got... No, it's not easy. All these bleating blokes that can do everything always start off with, oh, it's easy, just... It's a bit like having a plumber round. You've ever had a plumber round or a builder and they ask you to go down to Wickes, Homebase, B&Q, something like that. Could you get me this part? And you know you will come back with the wrong part, wouldn't you? Evening, Dino. You know you will come back with the wrong part. And I've done it. Oh, no, I don't think I shall. I'll come back. No, you'll be fine. Just ask for this. And you ask for that and you go, oh, it's the wrong one. Waste of time. We don't know about these things. Cars and dentists. Don't know about dentists. Anyway, so I let him do it. And he did it, you know, put the old... Oh, I hate that blooming great big long needle. Always think it's going to go through the back of my throat, don't you? the blooming dentist. So he did that. This is about 7 or 8 years ago now. Oh, hang on a minute. What's Danny's there? Hello to Danny. Evening, Danny. Evening, Dino. You will get a better experience, incidentally, on YouTube if you're watching on TikTok. My YouTube is Chris Reardon UK, youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK, all right? Hello to Charlotte as well. Paul McIlroy, you need to start planning the wedding. Oh, happy days. Is he going to marry me? At last. About time you were dumped, Charlotte. Bye. Bye, love. He can bring the kids. I've got spare room. I don't mind. Thank you very much. And thank you for the likes people are sending me there as well. Thank you very much for those. If you could like this show, that'd be much appreciated. So where were we? We're talking about the dentist. So I let him do it, and he'd done the old injections and did it, and that was it. Well, let me tell you, once that blooming anaesthetic had worn off, the pain in my head, whenever, not like when it's not doing anything, whenever I ate anything at all, cold, hot, oh, it was awful, and it went right through your head, and this went on for weeks. Eventually, it did settle down. I went back 2 times. I even insisted on seeing another dentist, and she said, "No, that's all correct. You can't. You just got to give it a bit of time." Well, it went on for weeks. It was really painful to eat anything at all. Glass of water, terrible. Cup of tea, terrible. Ice cream is the worst of the lot, as some of you probably well know. Anyway, so eventually it did settle down. All right, Charlotte, tell him, darling. Bye, love. Go on, off you go. I'll give you 50 quid's worth of Marks and Spencer's vouchers to leave him to me, my love. Sorry, just breaking up another relationship here, boys and girls. So that was that. And then on the next visit, this is the private dentist, remember, 7 or 8 years ago. Private dentist, on the next visit, he's poking around, right? He says, oh, the filling on the other side looks like it needs doing as well. It's starting to break. And I said, no, not having that done. Well, it needs to be done. I don't want it done. I'll get back to you. And I never went back. And I think 2 years passed and the bloody filling never came out. 2 years passed, right? And then I thought, well, I've got to go to a dentist. And as luck would have it, we have a couple of NHS dentists here in Bracknell, and they were at that time taking more people on. They're not now. Thank you, Charlotte. They're not now. Tell him to pack a little bag. He won't need much. He can wear my stuff. No problem at all, my love. Hang on a minute. Do you mind if I take a break just to pump up the pillows and all that? Because Paul's coming round. I think Charlotte's boyfriend. She wants to marry him. Ain't going to happen. He's had his eye on me for ages. Ask my nephew. They're best friends. Ask Gary. Anyway, can we get on with this, please? Thank you very much. Private are an absolute rip-off. They are. And I am the proof of that. I'm the absolute proof of that. All right? So, 2 years down the line, I registered with an NHS dentist, got an appointment, he had a look. Anything wrong? No, you got good teeth, nothing wrong in there at all. And ever since then, 7 years, they've never found anything wrong until that little chip came off a couple of weeks ago. Unbelievable. So just learn from that. If you're paying for anything private, I'm not saying they all rip you off, but just keep an eye on that. Nothing worse than getting ripped off by someone, is there? I don't think I've ever ripped anyone off. Yeah, when I've done people jobs and things like that, DJing jobs or karaoke jobs, quiz nights, I don't think I've ever ripped anyone off. Honestly, it's unnecessary. Let's get as much out of you as I can. No, I'm not like that. There are people like me, believe it or not. You know. So, Mrs. Annika Patel. So I'm seeing her, she's poking around. She says, well, I've had a look. She says, you can have a crown, but it's so close to the nerve, it might give you problems. And I'm like, yes, it did give me problems. What's the other option? She said, you can have a silver tooth. And it is right at the back. Okay. It is right on the back there. So you can't really see it. So the silver one would be on the NHS, and I can't remember how much that was. It wasn't, relatively, it wasn't that expensive. 80 quid maybe, something like that. Right, okay. She said, or you can have a white, what's she call it? Composite? Does that sound right? Is that like a plastic? A white composite one, which would be less invasive. I said, what do you mean by that? She said, well, the white one, because of the position of the filling, like where a bit's broken off the side, okay, the white one, she said, will stick better to that tooth. There is a chance that it won't stick and then you will have to have a crown. But it might be worth trying that because it's less invasive and we don't have to drill down as much for the composite one. So I'm like, okay, how much is that? 150 quid. But you know what price health? What price health? So I think I'm going to go with the white composite one. I haven't made an appointment yet. They're booking about 4 or 5 weeks ahead, I think. So I haven't got that. She also recommended I go to the hygienist. Now, when you go and see the dentist, usually they do a little bit of a clean, but she would like me to do a thorough clean. Cost of that is 65 quid. So we're looking at about 215 pounds altogether, which I'm happy to pay, to be honest, because I haven't paid the dentist any more than £40 a year for the last 7 or 8 years. So I'm happy to pay that, and that does sound composite bonds. That sounds about right, Charlotte. Composite bond is the one, and the silver one, you see, apparently doesn't stick as well as the composite bond one, and they would have to drill into the tooth more to get that one to hopefully stick. But even then, she has said to me, it still might come off. I just hope I don't. When you're breathing in, and you get a bleeding mouthful of tooth or something like that. Awful. Hello, Jerry. All right, Jerry. So that's it. So there we are. So I've got to do that. Then after that, we then went back to the gym because we usually do, on a Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, we do gym, swimming pool. Now, because of the dentist in the middle, we had to do gym, shower, dentist, and then back to the swimming pool. We weren't sure we were going to go, but we forced ourselves, right? Went back to the swimming pool and we had a lovely swim in there. And we had another shower. I mean, me and my mate, we practically emptied 3 reservoirs yesterday with the amount of showering we did. So we did that, had our swim. I do 60 lengths usually. And then from there we came home, I did some dinner. We had a little bit of dinner. What did we have? Vegetable soup, I think, because we're on I'm on a diet. I'm trying to lose a bit of weight at the moment. I meant to weigh myself this morning for you, but I forgot. I'll weigh myself Friday morning for the radio show. By the way, gang, I do a radio show, which is Monday to Friday at Reach on Air, and you can find that by going to this wonderful place, which has completely disappeared from my screen. There it is. That's what I do, 9 till 10 a.m, reachonair.com. By the way, you can listen to that on a smart speaker. All you've got to do is say, Amazon, play radio station, Reach on Air, and she'll play it for you, okay? Hello to Amelia Dodd. Evening, Amelia. All right. Paul likes some curvy. Does he now? What sort has Paul got? Has he got curvy or just straight? Just as a matter of it, or just like a lean to one side, Charlotte? Oh, no, don't tell me. It'll be a nice surprise when he gets here, dear. I'm terrible this month. Right. So we've had the dinner, and then we're watching a film, which was very good. Where is it now? We were watching Pixie. Or was that last night? No, we were watching Pixie last night, which is a film on Netflix. Very good, Pixie. Okay, watch that. It's about these priests. It's all filmed in Northern Ireland. And it's about these priests who do drugs. That they sell drugs. And nuns. They're selling drugs. It's hilarious. It's very, very good. Pixie is on Netflix, okay? No, we watch in the afternoon at the moment, 1 episode a day. It's like a horror thing. Someone knows what it's called, please. It's this bloke, and he goes round. I think he's in America somewhere, and he goes round to gay bars, picks someone up, brings them home, and murders them. He drugs them. He puts powder into his drink and then drugs them, and then fall asleep like that, and then he murders them. That's very good. I can't think what that's called for a moment. Does anyone remember what that's called, please? Any idea what that's called? So we watched that, and then I had booked in a coronavirus injection. 1 minute. I'd booked in a coronavirus injection. So I went down to Owlsmore, which is only about 5-10 minutes in the car. Went down to there. My appointment was 3:40. If you know me well, you know what time I get to appointments. I'm there at the crack of dawn. So I walked in there about 3:15. And it's a chemist. And there's a volunteer old bloke sitting there. Hello, mate. I said, well, I'm a bit early. I'm 3:40. What's your name, please? Chris Reardon. Oh, yeah, okay. Do you want me to sit in the car for a while? No, that's all right. Just sit down there. And I had my coronavirus injection. Well, she wasn't very good, dear. You know, you have injections and you have injections, don't you? You know, some of them are really good at it and you don't feel it at all, do you? Yeah? Others are just, they can't do it. I don't think they can do it, to be honest. They don't know how to do it. And it blooming hurt when she put that needle in. Really hurt. But there you go. One of those things. So I had that. Came out of there and I got back here at 3:45, 5 minutes before the blooming appointment starts. Happy days. That's what I like. I'm always at appointments very early. I'll never be late unless there's some reason it was there. Okay, Scotty's going to play bingo. Hope you win. £50,000, Scotty. Thank you very much. Thank you. Don't forget your friends. 10 grand is very nice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I had that and I come back here and it was time for my afternoon siesta. So I went to bed and I got up. All was well. My mate came over. I did some dinner. We had Slimmers World chips, 2 eggs, vegan bacon and baked beans and mushrooms. Bloody delicious. Oh, absolutely delicious. But it was big. Don't usually have a big meal at see you, Scotty. Don't usually have a big meal at that time of night. But it was nice. And we had that. And then we watched the film Pixie, like I said. And then he usually goes at about 9 o'clock because he's an early bedder now. He goes to bed usually about 9. He does go to bed at 9 o'clock. So he went, and then I started watching the film The Last Vermeer, which is about this bloke who's selling, or supposedly selling paintings to the Nazis while the war was on, but the war had finished and it's filmed in Holland. Really good. I'm not quite at the end of that yet. All right, so that's a good one to watch. The Last Vermeer, Vermeer, and it's about fake paintings. Very, very good. Very, very good. So we watched that. I watched that, and then I went to bed. Now, my usual side effect is tiredness. That's my usual side effect. I'm like, oh, a bit like that. However, this hadn't occurred at all. And I thought, oh, maybe I've got away with it this time. Because the flu injection I had 2 weeks ago, I got away with it then. Didn't get any sort of side effects at all. As a matter of interest, what side effects? Do you normally get a side effect at all from any vaccines? I got nothing at all this time from the from the flu vaccine. So went to bed and immediately I realised I can't sleep. And my head was racing. You know when all these things are going round and round in your head and they're not really making sense. It's all just a massive jumble of information that's going round from one thing to the other. I thought, oh, you must be joking. And I knew it was the vaccine because it's happened before with these coronavirus ones. Anyway, I did manage to stay in bed all night long. And I woke up as the alarm woke me up at 7:15. And I got up and I'm like, oh. And I knew, oh no, I thought I got the blooming fatigue. And of course, fatigue is very, very different from tired. Yeah, it's a completely different thing, fatigue. You just, oh God, you know, I just don't want to do anything. A bit like that. Oh, so what is it? Oh, I'm going to have to go there. Anyway, I managed to do my radio show this morning. And it's like an automatic thing, you know, a red light. There's no red light in here, but the countdown comes and gets to 0 and you're on and you automatically come alive. It's amazing, really. Good evening to Seeded Bun. Hello to you, Seeded Bun. Evening to you. I did the radio show, and as I predicted, as soon as my countdown finished and it finished, I went, ugh. Oh God, I don't think I can go swimming today. Because today is a swimming day. Anyway, I thought, no, force yourself, take your bag and walk up there. Walk up there, because the walk up there is 25 minutes there, and it's 25 minutes back. And that would probably have done me enough, to be honest. I was just so tired. I was walking along so slowly, you know, looking like someone who's really depressed. You know, when they got the head down like that. Thank you, Amelia. Evening, Ben. Evening to you, Ben. You know when you got your head down like that and you're walking, oh, God, oh, dear me, what's the time? A bit like that. I was like that. I was seriously like that. Anyway, I got to the pool and I thought, you know what, I'll go in, I'll do a couple of lengths and then have a shower. Then I've had a shower. I've had my money's worth, you know what I mean? You don't pay £48 a month not to go to the swimming pool gym, dear. You've got to get your money's worth. And all the time you're showering up there, you're not using your water or your electric or gas at home. Happy days. So I got in the pool. My mate was already in there, but he had to go to his hospital today in Chelsea and Westminster Hospital in London. So as I got there, he was coming out. You know, he lifted his old carcass out of that pool. I don't know how he manages to do it sometimes, to be honest. And I got in, and it did feel a bit colder than usual. But bear in mind, I wasn't feeling well, so I think that was something to do with it as well. It wasn't too busy. I started swimming, and I thought, right, set yourself a limit, 20 lengths today. We'll do 20 lengths. Thank you for the likes, everyone. 20 lengths. Tom saw me. Hello, Tom. Tom's there. Hello, Tom. Now, Tom, if you're on TikTok, you see that bloke called Tom. He's one of the staff there. He sits on top of those one stools. He sits on top of the stools watching everyone with beady eyes. Watching everyone with beady eyes. So Tom was there. And I got in. As I got in, my mate left. And I thought, well, I'll do 20 lengths. And I got to 50. And I thought, make it 30. And I got to 30. Make it 40. And I done my 60. And I was so surprised I managed to do it. I think there's certain things you do. And you go on autopilot. Good evening, Sabrina. I think you go on autopilot, like with a radio show between 9 and 10 when I'm feeling like that, and bang, morning everyone, welcome to another day. I'm a bit like that. And it's the same on a stage when I'm doing the karaoke or when I used to do the DJing. I mean, I struggled into work sometimes, you know, when you got colds and flu and that. I do not wee in the pool, I'll have you know. Thank you very much. There's no weeing in the pool, thank you. How rude. How would you know? Have you got that special dye in? That was a lie, wasn't it? Do you remember being told that as kids? Someone put a special dye in the pool. So if you had a wee, it would all go sort of green or red around you. That's a lie. That never happened. Who made that one up, did they? Anyway. So I did my 60 lengths and I must have been on autopilot. I'd come out on a lovely, really hot shower, talking to the blokes and the boys in the gym. So it's quite a social place up there. It's run very well. It's set up very well as you don't just go in and go swimming. When it was the Hilton Hotel, there was the manager. His name was Trevor. Lovely man. Lovely man. And the staff, can't remember their names now, the staff who changed occasionally. And it was all right, you know. But basically, you went in there, you did your swim and you came out, you know. Whereas in the village, it's set up completely differently. And you do feel like you belong to a club. Yeah? Bit like, you know, if you go into your local pub or something like that and you still keep going, you become part of that crowd, don't you? I do not wee in the pool, Tom. Stop it. And it's a bit like that in there. Anyway, so I got dressed and then I struggled back home, I tell you. God, oh, God, I feel awful. Anyway, I came back and I had some campfire stew, which has got a lot of chili in it. Whenever I don't feel well, I make sure I have something with a great amount of chili in it. Maddie wants to know my most ticklish spots on my feet. My feet are my most ticklish spots on my feet. Absolutely, yeah. Funny question. You're not going to tickle me now if we ever meet, are you? She wants to see my bloody feet now. Here you are. Oh, thank God I've got some decent socks on today. Here you go. There's my feet. Who wants to tickle my feet? Of course they're clean socks. Every day, clean socks. You never know when you might end up in hospital. You don't want that poor nurse in there to see dirty, scummy feet, do you? You know, no socks off. So we got someone with a foot fetish watching today. I got back home, so I had my chili and rice, and I sat there and I watched a bit of telly, and I went to bed about 20 to 3, I think, 20 to 3, and I've been in bed, and I got up again about 6:30, and got my stuff ready here to do this odd thing that I do, you know, with barely anyone watching, and here we are. Had a cup of tea, here we are, got some water here, so we'll see how it goes. And that was my day. So I think, and I'm pretty sure it stems from the from the coronavirus. I have to say, as I sit here at the moment, again, I'm feeling not so bad. But that's probably because I'm doing this, and once again, I'm like on autopilot or something like that, you know. One of those things. Anyway, if you'd like to join in tonight, you can send us a message. Text number, bottom on YouTube is at the top left-hand side of the screen there. Feel free to send a text in there, my darlings. All right. Some people have done that already. Good evening to George Bond. Evening to you, George. Welcome to the show, George. Gary Ross says, any chance of those 2 tickets? There's no tickets. There's no tickets, Gary Ross, texting in. There's no tickets, my friend. Thank you. Evening to Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning. Chief Researcher. Thank you, Vera. Richard says, how many layers are you wearing? It's October. You're allowed to put heating on. We are not. We are not allowed to put the heating on. And you're off your head. Supposed to be a good Jewish boy, you are. And you're putting the heating on. I'll be telling your family. I will be telling your family. Absolutely. You do not put the heating on. 1 week in January. That's it. God, let me. Oh, I can hear it. I can hear your meter. Ooh, it's gone mad, love. Dear me. Evening to Maureen. Good evening to Maureen in London. All right, Maureen. She does me lovely sandwiches on a Friday. Thank you. And good evening to Ronan. Hello, Ronan. All right. He says, I'm already a member of... Oh, beg your pardon. Hope you're well and not too hot in this heat. What heat? Hang on a minute. Did you send... Oh, no, sorry. You sent that in July. Said that in July. Hang on a minute. I'm already afternoon, Chris. Hope you're all well, and that's from Ronan. So hello to Ronan. He doesn't live far from here at all, do you? All right, Ronan. A big hello to you. Danny has got his eating on. Well, you're off your head, mate. You want to get in that bloody studio and put another computer up? That's lovely and warm in here. Got 2 computers on, television, studio lights, cameras, iPhone, everything. Chucking out heat, and then there's my hot body as well. Hot buddy, thank you very much. Yeah. Hello to Chloe. Evening to Chloe this evening. Charlotte, do only feet. Oh, have you got a picture of Paul's? I'm not really into feet. Is Paul into that? Well, I'm not really into that whole feet thing. They're a bit smelly. I'm not going to tell you. There is one particular person in my life who has really bad feet. I'm not. I can't. I won't tell you. I won't tell you. It's not worth the trouble. It's not worth the bleeding moaning. I nearly swore then. Gosh, I nearly swore then. I'm glad he's not into feet, Charlotte. What is he into, incidentally? Is there any sort of videos or anything like that you want to pass over? Danny's studio is roasting his sitter in his pants. Oh, bleh! Oh God! Bleh! 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 Oh, I've got a bit sick on my mouth now. No disrespect to you, Danny, but, you know, you're not 18 again anymore, are you, mate? All right. Excuse me. Good evening to Jason, Sprinter Van Life. Lee Westcombe is there. Evening, Lee. OE is in the house. Good evening, OE. Our very good friend OE is there this evening. Is that everyone? Joey Millen's there. Joey only pops up. He says hello and then goes. There's a lot of people who do that. They just want a quick hello and they're gone. That's it. Don't see them until next week. Although, devastating news, no show for you next week. Sorry. No show next week, my darlings, because I will be at Euro Disney. La da 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 da. Except that ride's closed. It's a small world. It's blooming closed. I'm going with my niece and her fantastic family. There's her husband. Then there's great nephew James, great niece Emily, and great nephew George. And we're going to have a fantastic time. And not only that. No, she's still watching. Sorry. I'm glad you're not gone, darling. I'm glad you're not gone. Joey's listening on the YouTube. Good. Excellent. Who else have we got here? Let me just do these names. Hello to John Prowrish. The lovely Fran Green is in the house. Good evening to you, Fran. Weird City. Hi, Chris and all. Lovely jumper. M&S. No, Primark. I think this was £11, £11 or £14. Usually, as you know, I've got a jacket and a shirt, but quite frankly, I thought, I just can't be bothered to change today. So that's why there's a jumper on. There's a completely wrong T-shirt on under. Look, green. So I'm trying to hide that. It's not like Naga Monchetti, is it? You know, she's got someone to dress her in the morning. I haven't got anyone to dress me, unfortunately. Shame in it. Weird City there, so hello to you. Yeah, Primark, I think it was about £11, £12, something like that. Bring some footage back from Disney. I will. Yeah, we'll do a couple of videos and all that there. Don't worry about that. And very much looking forward to that. And the funny thing is, I've booked this back in April, and it wasn't until yesterday that I decided to see what the hotel was like. How crazy is that? You know, I didn't look until yesterday, and I was pleasantly surprised. We're not staying in the Disney resort. To stay within the Disney resort, even at their cheapest hotel, is horrifically expensive these days. Even at the cheapest hotel is Santa Fe, right? And then you've got Hotel Cheyenne, and then I think it's New York. These are in order of excellence. And then right at the top of the tree, of course, you've got the Magic Castle Hotel. So this time, at my niece's suggestion, because she's very good with saving the old money, right? Thank you. Am I looking casual tonight? Sorry, is it a bit... Do you think I've dressed down this evening? That's the thing. Have I dressed down? We are going on the train on the Eurostar. I love it. I love going on that train. It's fantastic. Anyway, so the hotel, it turns out that it's a 4-star. And I've got some pictures for you here. Okay. There you are. Have a look at this. There we go. That's the dining area. There's the swimming pool. It's a lovely pool, isn't it, eh? I think it's called Magic Circus Hotel, if you want any more information on it. Magic Circus Hotel. So that's a swimming pool. That's the lounge. Isn't that fantastic how that looks? Now, I don't know if they are windows or pictures. I'm guessing that they're pictures, but I might be wrong. That's like part of the lounge as well. And it's all recently been done up. Isn't it great? I think we should have a picture of the outside of it. There it is. And that's all right, isn't it? Hey, it's the Grand, as I say, it's the Grand Magic Hotel. And from the website, it says the Grand... Sorry, if you're on TikTok, you can't see those pictures. Danny's stayed at the Santa Fe. Yeah, I mean, it's bog standard. The thing is with the Disney, right? They've now charging you for the breakfast as extra. So your option is... Have the breakfast. Thank you. That's an extra whatever. And I looked at the price. Now, it was pricey or not. The choice is yours. So, I mean, they've taken something away, haven't they? In this particular hotel, the breakfast is included. Right, and it says the Grand Magic Hotel welcomes you to a magic world near Disney Park. Enjoy an immersive journey filled with mysteries and surprises. Discover the fantastic worlds that bring this amazing place alive. And of course, this holiday is not about me looking for stuff to do. It's about the children. You go on the holiday with children, as any of you who've got children know, it's completely different to going on a holiday on your own. Or worse, with boring adults who want to do one thing and you want to do another. I can't stand it. It's just so boring. People are so boring on holiday, not children. And you will see the holiday through their eyes. And it's completely different. And it's something I first experienced with my nephew when he was 17. And we went to Florida Disney, which was great. But remember, there was only one person, it was now 6. So it's a bit different. Although I would love... if I ever won the lottery or something, I'd love to take them all to Disney in America. There's so much to do in Florida. Every day. You don't have any rest days. Every day you're out doing something. Looks fantastic, doesn't it? Yeah. Do I speak French? Bonsoir, mon ami. Comment ça va? Ça va bien ici. Où est la maison? Où est l'hôtel? Où est Disney? Yeah? See? Fluent French. Ah, shut you up, didn't it? Want to send a text? Send it up there. There's the number up there, the text number up there. Not many people using that text number anymore. Everyone's back in the chat boxes again. That's all right. It says, adventuring makes you hungry. The Ches Morris restaurant opens in the morning for buffet breakfast. Would you like a buffet breakfast? This is why you've got to lose the weight before you go, you see. And I'm hoping, I've got my fingers crossed, I might drop just below 13 stone before I go. I'm hoping. Just over a week ago, I was 13.9. And the last time I weighed myself was last Friday and I was 13.3. So I've got my fingers crossed. But, nothing's guaranteed, is it? It says, The hotel offers a huge choice of room categories to suit all requirements and make you sleep among the stars. Well, of course, they are sleeping among the stars if I'm staying there, aren't they? Yeah, that's the trouble. I've got to be sort of very low key there, Danny, and the rest of you. I have to be low key. I can't. I have to go in a side door. Otherwise, people will be knocking at my door wanting to meet me because I'm an international star, as you all know. I mean, it's embarrassing sometimes. I've got a Mickey Mouse mask that I have to wear for the whole of the holiday. Other parts, people keep stopping me in Disney. Excuse me, are you Chris Reardon? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, it's terrible. They start grabbing bits of your clothes and wanting to... Oh, do you want a selfie? No, go away! The Grand Magic Hotel, and then it goes on. Buffet breakfast. In the evening, you can enjoy an a la carte dinner or an all-you-can-eat buffet. I wonder if they have all-you-can-eat pizza like what they have at Legoland. Oh, it's fantastic. So the best part of Legoland is paying... It was $9.95 the last time, or it's got to be more now. And it was an all-you-can-eat pizza buffet. Thank you very much. Danny says, I have to go through the back door too. Pardon? I thought you were married, Danny. Surprised at that comment. Very surprised at that comment. Who are these people that keep trying to join my live? I don't know who you are. Good evening to Fran Green. Evening, Fran. Hello, darling. Hope you're well. No, not really. Not really, Fran. We're struggling on like Mummy's brave little soldier. That's what we're doing. All right. And Lush Hotel. Yes, it is a lovely hotel, isn't it? I couldn't believe it. I thought we'd be in a 3-star, maybe even a 2-star. It's a 4-star hotel. That pool looks amazing. I just hope that people in there behave themselves. You know what the English are like? They're dreadful, some of them. You've only got to go in the Audi and see that. See the way some people behave there, aren't they? Anyway, so that's all to look forward to, and we'll be going at the weekend, hopefully. All righty. Did you ever go camping? Here's a question for you. Has anyone ever been camping? I used to be in the Scouts, first the Cubs and then the Scouts. And I ask you this because my niece and her family up in Scotland they have now bought a tent. And a big tent, apparently, with different rooms. I think it's got different zip-up rooms and that sort of thing. Anyway, they started going camping. And I said to you, was it cold? And she said, no, it wasn't really cold. Well, you want to go when the snow's on the ground, my darling. They've started going camping. I just wondered if any of you have done camping, or maybe you still go camping. Now, when I say camping, I don't mean one of those motorhomes. That is not camping, dear. I mean tent, something like that. Chloe hasn't been, have you, love? Tent, something like that. Sleeping on the floor, or maybe one of those blow-up mattress things, or a little camp bed. You used to be able to go buy camp beds, which were much better, to be honest, because the blow-up beds used to get a hole in them. You'd only have to, and it's ever so easy to do, you'd only have to put it on the ground without checking it, and there might be a sharp stone under that ground sheet. Now, admittedly, the ground sheets, Tom recommends a blow-up bed. Have you got one of those, Tom? Could you put one in the gym for us? If you put one in the gym for us, and I can have a lay down after I've had my swimming, and put my name on it so Ronnie don't go on it. It's outrageous, isn't it, eh? When we had the Scout tents, these were great big tents for 6 people, six boys, or sometimes we got more in there if we're all smoking, There we were, 13, 14 years old, and we used to lift. I'm so blooming dangerous when you think about it. Boy Scouts, night lads, Skipper Ted Morden, wonderful man. He died some years ago. He was our head scout, the scout leader. Skip, we called him Skip. And he was at night lads, and he'd go to bed, and then out would come the cigarettes, and we'd lift up the bottom of the tent so that the smoke would go out. Of course, at that age, and you think no one knows that you're doing smoking in there. You think by the morning the smoke has got... No, it hasn't. You know what it's like? You walk into a blooming pub, well, not anymore, of course, where they smoke. You've only got to be in there 30 seconds. You come out and you absolutely reek of cigarette smoke, don't you? Well, we was all in there smoking away. I don't know why we didn't ever set the blooming place alight, but there we go, we didn't. And It was great, really. Great doing that camping. Yeah, some great places. We went to Walton Firs as scouts, Broadstone Warren as cubs. What was the place in Kent now? Oh, I can't remember the place in Kent now. Hang on, Scout Camp Kent. Let me have a look. Scout Camp Kent. Scout Camp Kent. Hamlet, Adamswell. No, that don't look right. Rosswood. Buckmore Park. Buckmore Park Scout Camp we used to go to. Thank you very much. Have you ever done DIY dentistry? 50% of you have. Thank you, Danny, for doing that poll there. My God, I wouldn't do... Would you do that? DIY dentistry? Sod that, mate. Yeah, I might be happy to sort of pull a tooth out of someone else's head. Maybe if any of the great niece or great nephews have got a bad tooth while we're on holiday, I might do that for them. I'll take a pair of pliers and we'll video that, of course, for my YouTube channel. That'd get some good views, wouldn't it? Eh? Maybe baby James. Pull his tooth out with a pair. Come on, James. Go in with a pair of pliers. Danny used to go camping in a tent and a caravan. It's not camping in a caravan, mate. Tent is camping. Tent. Anyway, we had these big tents, you know, like a two-man tent. And the ground sheet was quite substantial. It was like a really thick material. The tents that you buy in millets or something like that, I mean, it's just like a piece of very thin plastic. So, of course, you can feel every single bump that's underneath you. And it's sharp. And that's why the camp beds with like metal bits like that along there are like a material that you would lay on there. That's why they're so much better, because they can't rip like that. But it's just so narrow, aren't they? I don't know about you. I've got a great big blooming double bed in it. I can't ever see myself going back in a single bed. I mean, I don't know what it's like on the holiday. No, actually, no, I'm in a family room. Because I said to you, my niece is very good about sussing out cost-cutting things. And we discovered if you get 2 small family rooms, it worked out cheaper than getting 1 very large family room and 1 single room. So we got 2 family rooms, and basically on the form it says niece, husband, boy, boy, and then uncle, girl. Right? But of course she will go in with them. But it was the cheaper way to do it. You've got to be wary of these sort of things. Otherwise you can be hundreds of pounds out of pocket. You know. So there we are. Did you go camping at all? Christina used to go camping. It was her favourite. Was it really, my love? Did you like your camping, darling? I loved it. Weird City went camping. He loved camping with the scouts. We told horror stories and sang Ging gang gooly 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 watcha ging gang goo ging gang goo Hayla Hayla Shayla. Oh yeah, happy days with that big fire, and we all stunk of smoke afterwards. Not cigarette smoke. Wasn't that a lovely smell though? The campfire smoke. Oh, it was lovely. And we used to do toast on it. And it would go very quickly, wouldn't it? You'd have this bit of toast. You'd take your eye off it for 1 second, and the thing would be black. You'd be scraping it off with a knife, because we never chucked anything away. And once in the fire, we decided we were going to try and do jacket potatoes. Now, none of us really knew how long to leave the potato in. So we've got this roaring fire, and we wrapped up these potatoes in silver foil, you see. And we chucked them in, and about 45 minutes later, we bought them out. What they were like, black bricks. There's no way we could eat those. They were just solid black bricks. And we discovered later that the way to do jacket potatoes is not in the fire, but in the embers of the fire. So, So when it's died down, that's when you do it, you see. When it's died down. Oh, happy days. Good evening to Bill in Scotland. Hello to you. Fancy telling... I don't think we told horror stories. Can't remember that now. Anyone else go camping at all? Anyone else do the camping? Fran said we used to camp for 22 years before buying a caravan. There you are, look at that. Fran enjoyed doing that. I mean, it can be a bit cold. Some people foolishly decide to light up a gas stove in the tent. You know, they all be very careful with this. But honestly, they go up so easily. You should never, ever light a fire in a tent. Are there... I don't know if there are specific heaters made for inside tents, are there? Anyone know about that? Oh, Tom! Oh, that favourite hymn at campsites. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. We like that one. Thank you very much. I don't know who you are. Someone's texted in, finishing with the number 57. So do let us know who you are, because I don't know. I haven't got a name next to you. It says, went camping in Epping Forest once on a school trip in the summer. It was a nightmare for me as I get really bad hay fever. I look like a zombie with my swollen eyes. You're going around like this, you know, eating people. Eating people or something like that. Hello to Margaloo. Went camping in Cornwall. That's a nice part of the world, isn't it? Eh? That's the warmest part of the country, isn't it, Cornwall? Somewhere like that. Tom, no heating in tent, carbon monoxide danger. Okay. Are there any sort of heaters for inside tents? Maybe a rechargeable electric thing or something like that, I wonder? It's a silent killer, isn't it, carbon monoxide? If you ever got a heater on, like one of those portable gas heaters, if it's burning yellow, you've got a problem. It must burn blue. I do know that. It's all right to flicker yellow occasionally, but if it's burning yellow, you've got a carbon dioxide problem, and you could just pass out and die. You basically suffocate, but the thing is you don't know about it. Charlotte went camping, and we travelled to Portaventura in Spain. 3 weeks of camping. That must be nice. Did you go in the summer, Charlotte? Did you go in the summer, darling? Or, because I would just assume somewhere like Spain in the summer, in a tent must be incredibly hot and uncomfortable. You can't win, can you? Oh, you did go in the summer. And was it very hot in the tent? Were you able to sleep? Oh, it must be awful, that. I've got blooming cold air in my bedroom now. It's lovely. Just turn it on in the middle of summer. It's lovely. And in here as well. And the bedroom and the living room now. I had the living room done this week. Thank you, OE. It's Omar. Hang on. I'll add you to my contacts, Omar. Once I've added you, you don't ever need to send anything again. Omar. Oh, you don't ever need to send your name again because it'll always come up. Thank you, Omar. Yes, camping in Epping Forest on a school trip in the summer. He said it was a nightmare. Bad hay fever, awful hay fever, isn't it? Amelia hasn't been camping in ages. Charlotte said it wasn't too hot. I'm glad to hear that, Charlotte. Campsite we had at a pool. The beach was 30 seconds walk, so a nice breeze. Ah, yes, if you can get near the sea, then it makes all the difference, doesn't it? Beautiful. Fran, it's not cold in a winter quilt. Oh, yeah. Actually, I've just changed my my duvet. I've got the autumn, spring. I've got 3 duvets. I've got a summer one, which is quite thin. Then there's the spring-autumn one, which is a bit thicker. And then there's the winter one. But actually, I don't really use the winter one much. I find myself overheating in that, you know. Don't know how you get on with that. And we went camping. Broadstone Warren was the first camp I went. And I was a Cub Scout then. And... I really missed my mum. There used to be queues at the phone. You know, it was one of those old pay phones, no mobile phones. You had to put like 10 pence in, and often we'd just lose our money. It just wouldn't work properly. Yeah, that was Broadstone Warren, and I remember they'd set up tents outside, like open tents, where you did like little activities, maybe a bit of pottery and stuff like that. And I was about 10 then, I think. Walton Firs, that's not far from here. I think it's in Cobham, not Chobham, Cobham. Walton Firs Scout Camp. Went there a few times. We actually went there on our own. A group of scouts. One would be slightly older, sort of 16. He would be the one in charge, which was me eventually. But before me, there were others, you know. And we'd literally go there for the weekend, Walton Firs Scout Camp. And I had this big pile of wood. And you were allowed to just climb on this blooming pile of wood and get wood to make a fire. This was all allowed then. Except this wood, I mean, it was offcuts from a funeral place. Seriously, you could see the shapes of the funeral. And there was a great big nail sticking out of some of it. And we were all climbing over this in plimsolls. I don't know anyone that ever stood on a nail. I mean, how lucky was that? Because it goes straight through your blooming foot, wouldn't it? We collect this wood and make a fire and build this fire up. No one bothered us. I remember my friend Alan Butcher, and one night we were sitting around this homemade table. We had a big fire going. It was, I don't know, it wasn't late, like 8 o'clock at night or something like that. We were all smoking, and we'd made this table out of a plank on top of a coffin and 2 legs somehow. Hello to Gavlar. Hello, Gavlar. And we're sitting there smoking, playing cards. And Alan says, I can smell burning. I said, well, yeah, of course you can. It's the blooming fire. And he said, no, it's a different smell. And anyway, we're looking at, maybe it's one of the cigarettes. Maybe it's set the blooming tent on fire. We couldn't find anything wrong. And eventually someone looked under the table and the bottom of his trousers were on fire. I never forget that. I never, ever forget that. How funny is that? His trousers were literally on fire underneath the table. Oh, well. And then where else did we go? I was lucky enough to go on a jamboree. Well, it wasn't quite a jamboree. It should have been in Iran. But at this time, 1979, the Troubles started there. So it all got cancelled. And then the UK people got split up and went to different places. We went to America, New York, Boston and Maine, which is the most beautiful place. We did 50 miles canoeing and hiking. And it was great. And I've got a cine film of this. There's no sound. And I don't have a projector anymore. I gave that away to my nephew. It didn't work anymore. So I thought he might try and fix it or something, or do something with it for one of his video shows. If you want to join my nephew, he has his own YouTube channel, The Project Man. That's his YouTube channel, The Project Man, okay? And so I've actually got this film, and I keep meaning to send it away and have it converted. I've got quite a few films. Is it down here somewhere? Where it is? No, I think I put it back in the cupboard. I've got like a padded envelope of video of film, and you can send them away and just have them converted on a memory stick, I suppose, or a DVD, whatever you want. I keep meaning to do that. Anyway, we did this 50-mile canoeing and hiking, and it was amazing, really, when I think about it. I didn't really kind of fit in at that point of my life with groups for some reason, and I was a bit more of a loner. But I suppose really, am I like that now? No, not so much like that now. But I was a bit of a loner then, and I didn't feel like I fitted in at all. In various guises of my life, I felt like I fitted in quite well to the church. I didn't fit in with any of the sports stuff at school. The music, well, I tried, but I wasn't very good at it, believe it or not, music. I wasn't very good at that at school, but there you go. So we went on this thing in Maine, and we would canoe to somewhere, and we'd set up a tent and cook our own meal, and we were miles away from anyone. And they had these radios, like walkie-talkie radios, and each night the bloke, the guide, who was about 30, he was much older, and he had a gun. He had a gun because there were bears. No one told us that, mate. They were bears, but we never saw any, to be honest. And I remember saying to him, "Would the bears come and find us?" He said, "No, very unlikely. They usually keep away." And yeah, and we had to make our own toilet. That's grim. Although some of these little places that we camped at had toilets there, but they were basically a hole in the ground. I don't even remember using the toilets, funny enough. But it was lakes, you see. It was lakes. And we went from one place to the other. One bit was really rough. And I got off my canoe and I went up to the top with my camera, with my cine camera, which eventually stopped working. Just one of those things, But I got about 20 minutes of filming. And so I'm up there filming them, getting off the block, and a couple of the lads were going mad. "Get down here and help us. Why are you up there? We're doing all the work here." And I really didn't fit in. But that being said, I think it's a case of, as you get older, you appreciate these things that happened as a child. Who else would have had that opportunity to go to Maine? It's a beautiful place. Look it up. Maine High Adventure Park, it's called. Amazing. 1979. And we went from place to place. Yeah. We were literally camped next to the lake, and you could hear it lapping away at the shore. And yeah, amazing, really, all that. So that was my camping. But I haven't been camping for years now. I don't know if I'd like it. I've got a 2-man tent, which has been wrapped up in there for about 45 years now. Probably leaks. I mean, if I was going to try it, I'd set it up in the garden and sleep out there or some point. Actually, my nephew does that with the kids sometimes. He sets up, I think he's got a tent or something, and he sets it up in their garden and they sleep out there. Because, of course, for children, it's very exciting, isn't it? You know, to sort of sleep in a tent or something like that. Okay. Thanks very much for the likes on TikTok. Keep ticking those and it helps, all right. John Paris says Martin now uses a gas stove in his house to save a few pennies. Yes, I've seen that. Actually, Gary does it as well. Gary uses a portable gas stove as well. I don't know if he's buying the gas bottles or he's already got gas bottles that he's had for some time, perhaps because he does. Well, he used to do fishing, my brother-in-law, Martin. His channel is Retro Restore or Butler's Empire. He's got a couple of channels, Retro Restore or Butler's Empire. And he used to do fishing, and I don't know if I'm right in saying, but I think these little gas things were left over from his fishing days. So he bought one of those single little gas stoves, and they're using up the bottles. I mean, why not? Otherwise, they're sitting there doing nothing, aren't they? Very sensible indeed. Okay, let's have a little... Hello to DJ Coolio from Reach on Air. Good evening, Coolio. Hello to you, sir. Yeah, all well is here, and that's it. Is it? Is that all our chat about camping? Oh, I thought you might have had a little bit more on that one, gang. Never mind. Anyway, that's our camping story. Would I go again? As I say, I don't know. I think I'd like to. I'd like to at some point, yeah. I would like to at some point go camping. Just a reminder, gang, if you're on TikTok, you'll get a better experience on YouTube. And also, the TikTok will finish at some point because the battery doesn't last 2 hours anymore. Especially with the screen on, I'm having to read the messages and all that business. All right. Now, where have all the sweets gone? You've been in your local supermarket recently. Where's the sweets gone? And I noticed this... yesterday, I think it was yesterday or the day before, me and my mate, we went into Sainsbury's. We don't usually go in Sainsbury's. We've been buying soup to lose a bit of weight, vegetable soup from Aldi. But we were horrified to discover that a tin of vegetable soup from Aldi is about 210 calories. Very cheap, 45 pence a can. But I thought to myself, that seems an awful lot. And then when I looked at the ingredients, it includes all sorts of stuff like wheat, which you wouldn't usually get. Or at least I don't think so in soup. So we went into Sainsbury's to look for a specific brand, Baxter's. Baxter's. Now, they're like a high-quality soup. And we found them in there. We started looking at those, and sure enough, the calories are much less. Now, the least calorie one is French onion soup. It's like 50 calories for a can. But, I mean, I don't think you could be not hungry after that. I really don't. I mean, maybe I should have got one to just try it out. I don't know. But I think you'd still be hungry after that blooming roast. What's it called? Roast onion? No. French onion soup. Baxter's. Right. So then we found Mediterranean tomato. And that was about 140 calories. So much less. Much less. The only thing is, £1.60 a can. Jeez. There were some that were on special offer at £1. The minestrone was on special offer for £1, so that was all right. I got a few of those. Got about 5 of those. And I got a Mediterranean tomato one, which is just delicious. £1.60 though. I mean, blimey. For a blooming can of soup. But the difference between that one and the Aldi, you can certainly taste the difference. And it's a lot more... shall we say watery? It's a bit more watery. They obviously haven't put in stuff to make it thicker, like wheat and all that business. So there we are. That's why we went in there. But we were around the back of the shop, and all the sweets have been moved to the back. And I thought, oh, that's odd, because they used to be right at the front, the sweets in Sainsbury's. Why have they moved those? We didn't think anything more of it. Until tonight, I'm just setting up, and I found this story on the Microsoft News site. And this must be what it is. It says every major supermarket in the UK, including Asda, Aldi, Lidl, Morrison's, Tesco, Sainsbury's and Marks and Spencer's, has been forced to implement a ban in their stores. It comes after the Department for Health and Social Care, DHSE, prohibited the display of products high in fat, salt and sugar in prominent locations such as shop entrances and till areas. Never knew that was coming along, did you? It was just by accident. We were up at the where they do the hot food like pizzas and pasties and that while we were walking past there. And why are all those sweets over there? And it's like they've cut into the wall and done it like that right at the back, and it's out of the way now. Now, I didn't notice whether or not there were sweets still at the till. I did notice they had those like nut bars and all that business. Hi, Matt. Good evening, Matt. Thank you, Matt. That's actually been up there. Matt likes the background. It's been up there over a year now. That's due a change. My lovely jungle scene. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Yeah, that one. And I didn't really notice if they've taken the sweets away from the tills, because we used to go to the self-service checkout thing. He's got this scanner thing. I don't know what it is. Beep, beep, beep. He literally takes in his shopping bag, and as he walks around with his mobile phone, right, not a scanner, he beep, 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 and he scans all this stuff. Then we get to the till, and then we just put the money in. I mean, how they know you're not nicking anything, I don't know. Presumably there's cameras all over the place. But we didn't see, I don't know if they would move the sweets from the front tills. I did see a lot of nut bars and stuff like that. You know, blooming sesame seed things and all that. You don't want to eat any of those if you've got false teeth, my love. Not that I have, I just want to point that out. No false teeth here. Margaloo didn't notice either. I'm working there tomorrow. Please report back, Margaloo. We need to know that, Vera, from Vera's Choice in the Morning. Have they moved the sweets? Have they moved them? You know, talking about that self-service thing, I note that Amazon have got like little mini supermarkets now. And with those, you don't go to a checkout. It's amazing. You literally, and you don't scan anything either. You literally walk around the shop, right, I'll have that orange juice, put that in your bag. I'll have that packet of ham, put that in your bag. Have that loaf of bread, put that in your bag. And you walk out. How does that work? I mean, is it not possible for you to hide from whatever is detecting that you're taking this stuff? I think you have to log in. I haven't been in one. I think you have to log in as you walk in, and then it just... I don't know how that works. Anyone seen that one? Any Amazon fresh shops at all? Interesting idea, though. John Parrish says, it was when I was in the Boys Brigade I found out I was socially phobic, Chris. Didn't fit in at all in groups. No, I don't think I did either, really. Rather disappointingly, you know, I didn't either. To be honest, you know, sometimes even here I'm a little bit lonely, to be honest. But I can't. I just can't be asked to get in a car and go into London and meet up with friends and things like that. Because I've got quite a few people in London, you know. Well, maybe I will at some point. Vera says most of the sweets are in this seasonal aisle for Christmas. Maybe that's how they're going to do it. They've moved them there and then that's it. Please report back tomorrow. Thank you, Vera. From Vera's Choice in the Morning. Reach on air. Thank you. Let's have a look here. Where are we? No, nothing of interest there. Okay, what else have we got today? I've discovered. Now you know this little bus. This bus that often appears behind me there, right? I don't know why I haven't discovered this before, and it's sat there for some years now, right? I was moving it the other day. There's something in here. Now it says best before 30/04 2017. Do you want me to open the bus and find out what's in there? Who wants me to open the bus? Can someone create a poll, please? Should we open the bus or not open the bus? Hang on, how do I do that? Create a poll. Open the bus. There we go. Yes or no? Ask your community. Open or close the bus? Can someone do a poll? Jerry says, with the Amazon shops, you take what you want, but won't go on your bill when you walk out. I don't know how that works. I was amazed at that. They must have so many cameras in there, really, when you think about it, watching your every move. I mean, I don't like that. They often say, I know that sounds a bit stupid, while I'm sitting here in front of several cameras, but I don't want to be filmed really when I don't. Then when I, if I haven't decided to be filmed by traffic cameras and all that business, I don't like it. Their argument is, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, you've got nothing to worry about. It's the same. It's the same with those traffic cameras. They say if you're not speeding, you are invisible. That's a load of old baloney, isn't it? Every move you make is now being filmed to see where you're going. Load of old rubbish that is. Amelia reckons I should open or close the bus. Open the bus or leave it for another 5 years. Let's hope we're still here. Weird City says, I find myself scanning items over dramatically. And then you get that comment, don't you, from the lady in the teal. There is an undisclosed item in the checkout area. Please remove this item and try again. It's embarrassing. Not as embarrassing as an alarm going off as you leave the venue. I hate that. Open or close the bus. Come on. What are we going to do? Open or close the bus? What's in the bus? I reckon it's biscuits. But they're now 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. They're 5 years out of date. Do you reckon I could still eat them? I better put them out for the birds. They'll have them, wouldn't they? Vera says, open the bus. Are we opening the bus or not opening the bus? Make your minds up, boys and girls. 5 more minutes and we'll decide, okay? Now, here's one that you might... If you don't join in with this one, then there's no hope for this programme. Ready? What cars have you had? Good or bad? What cars have you had? Good or bad? Lots of people are telling me to open the bus. I'll do it in 5 minutes, okay? So here's what I can remember of my car journey. The cars that I've had over the years. The first one was a Triumph TC. I would be about 1985, I suppose. Triumph TC was the first car I had, which was a nice car. And I destroyed the roof because I was going past a McDonald's lorry, one of those articulated lorries in Putney. And it was parked the wrong way. So the front of it is facing the oncoming traffic on the wrong side of the road, okay? That's how he's pulled up. Anyway, so I've gone round it. And then when I've got to the other side, there's another car coming that way. And I pulled in pretty sharpish, unaware that the blooming thing on the back, those things on the back what stick out and they put stuff on and the lift, it was sticking out. And I ended up going under that and I scratched all the top of my car. I was distraught. And I was always out there, the first car, lad's first car. I was always out there polishing this car, weren't I? Anyway, eventually I took it to somewhere and I had the roof kind of fixed and replaced with a vinyl roof. That was my first car. My second car was a Lada. I believe that's... I might have some of these wrong, I don't know. The second car I had was a Lada. It was hand-painted red and black. It had a black roof and red. And it was a blooming workhorse, this car. Whenever it rained, the footwell would fill up with water in the passenger side. But it was all right on my side, so I didn't worry too much about that. And this was a great car. It was a bit noisy and rattled a bit as it went along. But I loved it. I love this old Russian Lada. Built to last, I think. From that, I decided I wanted a new car. I was working at BT at the time in Wandsworth. And... some of the fellas in there, one of the fellas had bought a new Mazda, and I couldn't afford a Mazda. But I saw this advert for an FSO Polonaise. So I bought a brand new FSO Polonaise. Worst car I have ever had. It was terrible. It was terrible. And the fault was, I mean, it looked lovely and new, but the fault was, if you ever got stuck in traffic, it would start choking. And eventually it would die and you'd have to restart the damn thing. It was a blooming nightmare. I thought it was overheating, so I put a switch on there, connected to the electric fan. So if I hit traffic, I put the switch on, but it made no difference at all. And this thing was in and out of the garage, and they'd say, we've cleaned out the carburetors, can't find anything wrong with it, and you take it away, it'll be exactly the same. It was a bloody nightmare. And they took in my Lada as part exchange. And once, when it was in there, have you got a courtesy car? Yeah, we got that one over there. And it was my Lada. And I said, well, can I just keep the Lada, please? Take this back. It was the worst car ever. Immensely popular in Poland. They were Polish cars. But I didn't know much about cars. I thought, well, I'll buy a new car. No more problems. Couldn't be further from the truth. So I had that. Then I had a silver Escort, second-hand, and that was quite good. That broke down once, can't remember, and that broke down in Wimbledon. Can't remember what happened to that. No, it just broke down in Wimbledon, AA main cam, and he was able to sort it out, I think. After that, I had a new car, a red Escort diesel. That was the first diesel car, red Escort. That was lovely. And from the red Escort, I went to a Sierra. Can't remember if that was diesel or petrol. The Sierra was a lovely car, but it was the most uncomfortable seat I've ever sat in my life. You were never comfortable in this bloody seat. It was like one of those bucket seats. Horrendously uncomfortable. Then I had a black BMW. Very old BMW it was. And then I had a VW Golf, new. Then I had, that was a Mark III, fantastic. Then I had a Mark IV VW Golf, and it kept having electrical problems. The door wouldn't open. You'd have to climb across, and they'd fix that one, then the other one would go. It was a nightmare. Mark IV VW Golf, and just pop it in. Well, it's half a day, isn't it? Popping it in. After the VW Golf, I went from there into the Defender Land Rover. The first one was red. I called it Bessie, after the car in Doctor Who. I loved that car. Red Land Rover. They never went off the road. I didn't do like trekking or anything like that on them. Then I had a blue Land Rover, again a Defender, and then a silver Defender. But the silver Defender, I hang on to that for a while, and this service came in. Remember, we're going back here like 20, 25 years now, right? And this silver Defender, I took it in for service, and it was just a touch under £1,000. I thought, eh? And it was at that point I thought to myself, hang on a minute, you're spending too much money here. And I took in the Land Rover, right? It was diesel, and I took that in to Toyota, and I changed that for a Toyota Aygo, which was a tiny car in comparison. So I didn't, after spending all that money, I wanted to rake a bit of money back. I didn't even notice making the payments. It was so cheap. So from the Toyota Aygo, which was great, and that got to something like 180,000 miles, and then it had a major problem. The rings, it was letting in diesel fumes, and it was something to do with rubber rings. I don't know anything about them, but they fixed it. And then after that major thing, I thought, 180,000 miles, let's change it now. And I bought an Aygo, a Yaris. I think I had two Yarises, and then from the Yaris I went to a RAV4, and RAV4 now. And that's my car journey over the years. All right, that's my car journey over the years. Lots of people saying open the bus. I'll open it in a minute. Vera had a blue 3-door Fiesta. That's a lad's car. That is a Fiesta. Lovely Vera. Did you enjoy that? Hello to Mark J. Good evening from a wet and miserable North Wales in the HTV television area. Hello to you, Mark. All right, there. Evening to DJ Sparky. Tom's off. Bye, Tom. Hopefully I see you tomorrow. I think we got gym. Yeah, it's gym and swimming tomorrow. I just have to see how I feel tomorrow. I'm hoping to have been recovered tomorrow at some point. Okay, let's just have a look what cars you're mentioning here. Fran says open the bus. I will open the bus. Maureen says open the bus. It's probably biscuits. I reckon so, Maureen. I'll open it in a minute. All right, let's just see what you're saying about the cars there. Gary says wrap this up and give it to someone you don't like. I could change the sticker at the back. I could take it off, couldn't I? Look at the date. It'd be back to front on there, wouldn't it? Yeah, back to front on there. Gary says larders are rubbish. Jason says the Rover 214, he had that was a load of rubbish. You see, I didn't think the larder was rubbish. It was great. Not very good on the miles per gallon, but then it's a heavy old thing. I loved it. I loved that larder. Do they still make those? They still make those things? I don't know if they make those now. Derek Martin's in the house. Hello, Derek. In the Republic of Ireland. Derek says I had a Fiat Punto and bought it brand new and it leaked oil from day one. Oh, isn't that annoying? I drive a Skoda Octavia now. I had a Skoda Rapid before that and they have never given me any trouble. Well, of course, Derek, they are VWs, aren't they? It's just the bit on the outside. What you've got in there is a VW and all the experience. Very good German stuff, isn't it, like that? Jason reckons the best cars, Ford Cortina Mark V. I like those. I always thought I'd get one of those. A Ford Cortina, but never happened. Ford Cortina Mark V, Sierras, Vauxhalls, Savfria diesel at present. He's got had it for 10 years, over 200,000 on the clock. That's all right, isn't it? John says larder a skip on wheels. That's how they were known, yes. You know, and you had loads of larder jokes, you know. How do you warm up your hands, push a larder along with a heated windscreen on or something like that, wasn't it? I remember those things there. But like I say, I loved it. John had a 1967 Ford Zodiac, then a Ford Pontiac 4 litre. He had a Ford Escort Mexico, left-hand drive there. Look at that. Gosh. Jason had a Corgi version. Jason. Corgi. Hello to Edward Thomas. Welcome along to the show, Edward. All right, welcome to the show, sir. Gary's dad had a Fiesta Popular, plus seats were like sitting on milk bottle crates. Yeah, it's like the seats in the Sierra. They were awful. They were awful. Thank you for the gift there, Tamaloli. Tamaloli? What a lovely name, Tamaloli. John had a Firebird in Bahrain. Gosh, wow. Edward Thomas says Land Rovers are shocking. Well, they are if you don't put the right fuel in. That's all I'm saying. I've got to be careful with that one. You know, all I'm saying, to save money, do not put in vegetable oil into a Land Rover. That's all I'm saying. Never ever, because you end up with a very expensive bill. Oh dear. Toyota are really good cars. Yes, Edward. I've had Toyotas now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. About 15 years I've had Toyotas now. And you know, you take it in for service and it comes out again and you don't see them again until the next service. The old Japs are very good at the reliability thing, aren't they? And that's why the number one thing I look for is reliability, followed very closely by miles per gallon. I don't need to be anywhere away from traffic lights or anything like that. That being said, I've got a hybrid and it is quite a very fast pickup if you put your foot right down, but it's very rare that I do that. You know, very rare that I do that. John Allensby have just become a top 2 viewer. I wish I knew what that meant. Hello to Natalie. Welcome to the show, Natalie. All right. DJ Sparky had a Robin Rialto car. Is that with the 3 wheels? One of those. What was that called? Like a bubble car type thing? Is that like a disabled thing? Is that one of those disabled things? Thank you very much to those of you that are liking the show. Please do a thumbs up, either on YouTube or on the some little hearts, please, on the TikTok. I don't think hearts cost you anything, do they? It was a 3-wheeler, was it? Oh. Did you have to go around corners slowly on those 3-wheelers? I assume you would, wouldn't you? Back seats in the Sierra were very comfy, said Jason. Was that in your young lad days, was it, Jason? John, 2.0 Capri laser. Yes, I forgot I had a Capri as well. I beg your pardon. I had a Capri and I had a transit van when I was doing the mobile discos. And when I got into working in clubs, I didn't need the transit van anymore. So I swapped the transit van with my ex-wife's Capri. We weren't ex at that time. We were still going for like a divorce type thing. And she swapped. We swapped the Capri, and it was nice. But honestly, that nose was so long. Trying to see, when you're going round corners or something. And I think in the end, I just ended up giving it back to her. I just didn't want it anymore. Yeah. Thank you for the mini speaker, John. I don't know what that is. And Rose as well from Charlotte. Can't believe you're still there, Charlotte. Is he on his way yet? I've been waiting ages. The bell hasn't gone yet. Has he got my address? Just make your way to Bracknell as quick as possible, please. Look what I've just found. Do you like that? It makes a noise sometimes. Hang on. Someone sent me some corn now. I don't know what it is. Stamford Bridge. What, doing the football? Oh, is he a bit leery now, is he? Oh, that's good. I like a bit of leeriness from a lad. Vera's so jealous you had a Capri. I called it a Starsky and Hutch car. They were great. I didn't have it very long. I gave it back to her. I couldn't cope with trying to pull out of bleeding places. And the nose was just so long. So very long. Weird City Robin Reliant, like on Mr. Bean. Oh, that's great, isn't it, Mr. Bean? You can still watch that, can't you? That and Catherine Tate. Right, it's time, boys and girls. What is it time to do? Any ideas? It's time to open the bus. Right? So I didn't know there was anything in this, and I can't believe I haven't noticed. The other day I picked it up to put it behind me, sort of part of a sort of set type thing. By the way, this is a new microphone here. Got a brand new mic here. Do you want to see it? Look at this. Proper gear this is now. Look, we've gone up in the world. Look. It's an AKG. Check that out, eh? Look at that. On the other side, it's silver. That side's black, the side's silver. New microphone now. No one's noticed. I'm so disappointed no one said, oh, you sound good tonight. Oh, well. More wasted money. Nice AKG professional microphone. Lovely. Right, here we go. Let's open the bus. It's got to be biscuits. Maureen reckons it's biscuits. Maureen, do you want me to bring these in for you Friday? Hey, should we give them to someone? They'll think we're being nice, won't they? Hang on a minute. I nearly got a big birthday cake today. One of the girls at the gym, I think her name's Morgan. That nice name, isn't it? Morgan. Thank you, Jason. This sounded top quality. Thank you. He's noticed. Charlotte reckons it's mince, right? The tape is off. The sellotape is off. I'm going to see this at the same time as you. Yeah, the girl at the gym. She said, oh, it's my birthday today. Do you want a slice of birthday cake? I said, I can't. I said, I'm on a strict diet. I'm trying to get below 13 stone. I've already lost 6 pounds and I'm hopeful. She said, oh, please have a little slice. Please have it. I'm like, no. Now, fortunately, the lad, George is his name. He said, oh, blimey, he's got some muscles. That's not my sort of thing. He's about 26, 27, and he clearly does nothing but lift weights. He's got these great big muscles, legs as well. He's the one that showed me and Ronnie round to a couple of the machines. Of course, Ronnie's all over him, dear. Like he always did. No decorum whatsoever. I mean, he literally throws himself at people. I would never do a thing like that. Never, ever. Is Paul coming? I would never, ever do anything like that to anyone. Anyway. So George pipes up. No, he can't have any. He's on a strict regime. George said, I said, there you go, see George. Anyway, the funny thing is I'm coming out of there and then I'm walking home now. My mate who's on the way to his hospital rang up. He said, did you get a bit of cake? I said, no, I refused it. He said, well, she offered me a bit. Talk about a sliver. I said, what do you mean? He said, honestly, it was like a piece of paper that she was giving people. It was is it Thomas the Caterpillar? Thomas the Caterpillar? Something like that cake she had, but I didn't have any. George told me I wasn't allowed to have any, so I must obey George. Otherwise, he'd pick me up and throw me through the window. He's got these great big muscles. massive muscles. I don't mind a bit of definition. I don't mind a bit of fat. You know, not keen on the great big muscles. That being said, he's a really nice bloke. And he takes his time and shows you around. Right, you ready? John reckons it's nuts and bolts in here. Charlotte reckons it's mince. Right, here we go. It's chocolate. Now, these don't go off, do they? Look. Oh, what does that say? I don't know what that says on there. Bon. Oh, it's bloody French. Now they look. Oh, they look a bit like Rolos. Now, do you know what? I'm not being funny. They don't look like there's anything wrong with those, does it? Oh, you've gone on low power on the TikTok now. Look, don't look like there's anything wrong with those, does it to you? Who's going to come into the pub on Friday and try one? I'm not going to throw those away because I think they're going to be all right. 5 years out of date chocolate. What do you reckon, gang? Look, there's all these. I really thought they were going to be biscuits. Look. What do you reckon? Colin the Caterpillar. Thank you, Charlotte. That's the one. Colin the Caterpillar. What do you reckon? Do you reckon we can eat these? When I've lost the weight, I might try one. Okay. They are chocolates. Who wants one? Come on, what do you reckon? Should I eat one of those or not? Let us know. Not today, mind. George says it's toffee because I've had them before. Have you had them? Oh, they'd be all right, wouldn't they? Fran reckons it's fudge. Now, I don't think it's fudge, Fran. It looks like some sort of... They look a bit like Rolos, to be honest. Bin 'em. Do you reckon, Jerry? Should I bin 'em? Come on, Vera, you can have some. Natalie, if you come down the pub, Natalie, come down Central Station on Friday, I'll give you a couple. And then what we can do, if you come early at 7:30, have a couple, right? And if you're still all right at 11 o'clock, I can share them out. I'm terrible, aren't I? I'm a terrible, terrible person. God knows. All right. What else have we got today? Eat them, it will be a good detox. That'll send you straight to the toilet, won't it, eh? Hello to Mark Jones. Mark's there. Hello, Mark. All right. Gary, did you have a Daewoo car? Did you have a Daewoo? Wow. I don't know anyone that had a Daewoo car. Did they make washing machines as well, Daewoo? Anyone got an electric car yet? Thank you, Mark. People sending roses and things. You're very kind to send little things. I don't know what it means. I honestly don't. I know what the hearts mean. You like the show. But when people start sending roses and things like that, I don't actually know what that is, I'm afraid. I'll do a search on it or something like that. Okay. Did you miss anything that you did during the pandemic? Or what did you miss doing when the pandemic was on? Now, I can't believe how long ago this was now. It's like a year and a half now, is it? A year and a half since we come out of the lockdown. We couldn't do anything. All the shops were closed. All the business was closed. Couldn't go swimming. Couldn't use a gym. Couldn't do anything. And very, very quickly, they're gifts, says Charlotte. Oh, well, they're very nice. They're just little pictures. Is it money? Is it money people send? Is it really? Oh, but it must be like pennies or something like that. It can't be anything sort of mad. Roses means dollars. It's a tip. Oh, okay. Okay. A bit like a super chat or a PayPal. Let me put that up in case anyone wants to send us a tip today. Thank you very much. It must be like that. Okay. Well, I'll have to look those up and see how that works because that's a bit of a mystery to me, to be honest. Thank you. Oh, he says it's money, Chris. Okay. John, there. Chocolate can last a long time. She adds, but it often develops a white coating known as the bloom when it's exposed to the air. It's not mould, she says, and it's fine to eat. Yeah, I think it would be fine to eat as well, actually. Oh, where have you gone? You've just fallen over, love. Hang on. Sorry, you've all fallen over, haven't you? Let me try and get that back up there. It's all like bits of sellotape. Chocolate pennies. Oh, yeah. Chocolate pennies. Oh, is that going to keep falling off now? Oh, it's a bit precariously balanced, all this stuff in here. There you go. That's not very good now, is it? That's gone the wrong way. There we are. Is that going to work? No. You're nearly out of battery on the TikTok, I'm afraid. Okay, just to warn you, the TikTok will die at some point because that's on a mobile phone, and I can't get power into it and have the sound going into it because there's only one socket, isn't there? And that doesn't really work. So do join us on YouTube. If you type into your address bar unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, it will take you to the YouTube channel, or search for the YouTube channel Chris Reardon UK, and you'll find the live stream going out there. All right, my darlings, there we are. He says it's money there, yeah. Funny, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, that's what I'm saying there. What do you miss doing? Was there anything you did? Because a lot of people, they just kind of retreated to their homes, and it's not so bad here. I've got a house, I'm on my own, I've got a garden, there's plenty of places to go walking. And I did feel sorry for people who perhaps lived in a one-bedroom flat in London, or indeed a room. Plenty of young people live in rooms, or university rooms, things like that. You know, difficult. What I did, and I get very bored easily. I mean, I don't know. They must have been climbing the walls, some of these people in cities, London and places like that, stuck in there, unable to get out at all. Awful. Here, I took up walking. I started walking over the forest. We've got the most beautiful forest near me, Swinley Forest it's called. And it's huge. You can't walk from one end to the other. Well, maybe you can, but it'd take you days. I mean, the forest is huge. If you want to look it up, Swinley Forest. And I started going over there. And this is where the litter picking started, right? Because on my walks, and I had been over there before, but not very often. And on my walks, I discovered that litter was appearing everywhere. And I'm like, where on earth is this stuff coming from? And of course, what it was people similar to myself who had decided to go over the forest but didn't respect it. And they'd go over there with a can of Coke and a couple of bags of crisps and just throw them on the floor. There's no bins over there. You take it home. And that's where I started litter picking. Eventually I got fed up seeing all this stuff. And I went out with a carrier bag and started picking up this litter. And I miss going over there. Now I go, I tend to have a route that I do around here, and I go right around. Takes me about 2 hours, usually on a Saturday, sometimes during the week as well. And I hardly ever go over the forest again now. But I used to be over there for 3 hours on the most amazing walks, usually along a main path. Now and again, I went off the main path and kind of in on the little mudded paths. Maybe perhaps that a bike would go down or something. And I got lost a couple of times, so I didn't do that. Trouble is, once you're in a forest, you get lost. Everything looks the same, no matter what way you turn. Where am I? And the worst one, I got lost in this place. I didn't know where I was. But I remembered that I'd been coming down a hill. So I looked of how to get up the hill, and I followed that path up, and I got to the main path again, so that was all right. But I really miss doing it. Seriously, I'd be out for 3 hours sometimes, and I'd ring my mate up. All right, Ron, how are you? I said, what's the time, Ron? Because I'd have my phone in a bag or something like that. Me thinking it was like 10:30, and he'd say 12 o'clock. I said, you're joking. I was out there for hours, and I loved it. There's a great big pond. Never really saw many people out there. Not really. And I miss doing that. Similarly, what did I miss doing when the Pandoric was on? Swimming, going to church, and working. I really missed going to work. And the weird thing is, I've been on this little channel for years and years complaining about the traffic that it goes into London. I missed, this is weird, I missed sitting in the traffic trying to get to work. How weird is that? So they're the things I missed. The main things I missed, really. I missed, that was the main things. The main things I missed. I could, if I'd have wanted to, gone and self-isolated at the caravan, because the people that own the caravan site made a thing with the council that they could open and people could self-isolate up there. But I decided to stay down here and surrounded by my stuff and a freezer full of food and all that. Hello to Abode. Hello, Kelly Kim. Hello, darling. Hello, Kelly Kim. Welcome to the show, my love. Now, poor Natalie fell in a pond when she was a little girl. I did as well. Oh, I think I ran into a pond. Now, where was that? That was... that was near a children's hospital in London. Kennington Park, maybe? Somewhere like that. My mum was ever so cross. I ran into a pool, into a pond. What did you miss? Text in if you want. The text number up there in the top left corner of the screen. George says, do you wish you could watch live stream on record on TikTok? I can, but you can't. I can see my own shows once they've been done. Fran says, I missed meeting with my aphasia group, but we are back together. We're back together again. And John says, Sherry and I both missed travelling during COVID. Yes, because you couldn't go anywhere, could you? I don't actually know anyone that got sort of pulled over by the police and said, hello, where are you going, sort of thing, and sent them back. But we did hear those stories that was going on, didn't we? He said, apart from our travelling, I personally preferred it during COVID reasons. I didn't have to do anything. You see, I can't do that, John. I have to be doing something. I get so bored. The funny thing is, after doing one of these shows, for example, I'm a little bit tired, especially with the sort of COVID vaccine side effects going on today. I get a bit tired. But I'll sit down in front of the telly probably for a little while tonight, maybe watch the end of that film. And very quickly I'll become bored again, It's just how it is. That's just me. Other people are quite happy to sit there in their bleeding bedrooms and play PlayStations for hours on end and the like, that sort of thing. It's not for me. Chris at United Kingdom PayPal. Do you want me to look that up for you? I can look that up. Have you messed something up? Hang on. I'll look it up. It usually flashes up in front of me, but I'm using the phone for TikTok, so I'm wondering if that hasn't worked really. Yeah, there we go. 5th of October. Andrew? Oh, we've got a couple of tips coming in here. Hang on a minute. Sorry, I've missed these. Yeah, it's not flashing up in front of me. Hang on a minute. So first, Omar. Thank you very much, Omar. Oh, hang on. Where's my sounds? There it is. Oh, we've still got the music playing there. Hang on. Here we go. First of all, Omar. Thank you for your tip, Omar. Much appreciated. It's very kind of you. And Andrew. Gosh, Weird City. Thank you very much. Couple of little tips tonight. Thank you very much, my darlings. You're very kind. Very kind to this aging. I've spent it on the kids, of course. Don't worry about that. That will not be spent on me. We mustn't be spending money on me. I'll buy them something with that, I think. Probably a meal. It's horrendously expensive to eat at Disney, but my niece is all clued up about that. Like I said, no one rips off my niece. I tell you that now. She knows how to cut costs and things like that. Virtual. Jason. Worst thing that happened to me at COVID was only being able to have 10 people at my mum's funeral while Boris was throwing parties. I'm sorry about that, Jason. Yeah, that's awful. Awful. Yeah, don't worry, Weird City. That's got to me. Thank you very much. You're very kind to this aging radio and television presenter, dear. Thank you. Just to warn you, the TikTok's now on 10%. I don't know how much longer it'll go on for. It'll probably cut off. Join us on YouTube before we get cut off. All right? youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK, or type into your address bar unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk and it'll come up there. All right? Fran says, we have had a trip today to York Rail Museum. Really good day out. Thank you. Let's just have a quick look at that. That sounds something that I might want to do. So you've got all the trains. I remember going to the London Transport one several times, long time ago now. And they got all the trains and their buses and stuff like that, haven't they? Excuse me, can I just have a little... do this? Oh, dear. North York's Railway Museum. Oh, lovely. Look at that. That does look good. Oh, big red steam train, yellow. What's that yellow? Is that Stephenson's rocket? That yellow one. It is, isn't it? Wow. Flying Scotsman. I've got Flying Scotsman. Here, look. Thank you very much. The Flying... Look how dusty that is. Oh, I bought a few of these things as a child. And I've shown you this so many times over the years. And for one of my Christmases, I think when I was 16, I got an electric train set. And this was the engine, the Princess Victoria engine. Hideously expensive now, model railways. Hideously expensive. They're really, really expensive. There was a set that Hornby are doing, and it didn't seem that big. And it was like 700 quid. No engines, just the layout, just the track. It's not a cheap thing to do. Old, the singer with the blonde spiky hair, what's his name? Do you think... Rod Stewart, he's got amazing train layout, hasn't he? Absolutely amazing. Have you seen the pictures of it there? Okay. Where are we? Christmas weather. Wow. Look at this. Christmas weather, boys and girls. We might be getting a white Christmas this year. That doesn't... I'll be honest with you. It does nothing for me at all. I don't like snow. Horrible blooming stuff. And it's just... not for me. Hang on, where's the bleeding story now? There we go. The Daily Star. Bookmakers have slashed the odds for snow to fall on Christmas Day this year for the first time since 2010, with temperatures set to start falling from this month onwards. It's going to get cold. No heating! No heating! No heating! Natalie loves trains and buses. Yeah, I love them. I got going on the Eurostar all the way to Paris. Love a train. It says Britain is on course to enjoy its first proper white Christmas for 12 years, following news that will be hit by freezing temperatures next week. Is it freezing temperatures next week? I bet it isn't. Hang on a minute. Hang on. I bet it isn't. They always say that, and it's like one of the Scottish islands. You know, it's not anywhere where loads of people live. It's one of the tiny Scottish islands. Here, let's have a look here. BBC weather, Bracknell. So next week, let's say next week. He said next week, didn't he, right? Next week. Okay, Sunday, 17. 17 daytime, 10 nighttime. Monday, 16:7. Tuesday, 16:10. Wednesday, 17:11. Thursday, 16:11. Friday, 15:9. Saturday the 15th, 14:7. Sunday the 16th, 14:7. 15:9. Where's the freezing weather? Where's the freezing weather? Lying. Hang on, let's just have a look at the caravan. Oh, hang on. Let's have a look at the Luxury Waterside Media Centre. Next week, while I'm away, here we go again. 16:7, 16:10, 16:6, 16:9, 16:10. Where is it? Where's the freezing weather? Every bloody year they do this. Worst winter for 400 years. It's lies. Following news that will be hit by freezing temperatures next week, bookies now make it odds on that flakes will fall on December the 25th. Gosh. Big chills are coming early this year. Well, I'd like to see it on the weather forecast then. Another excuse to frighten us all off. Thank you for the likes, George. You're very kind for my likes. Don't forget, if you've got time, please send a little like on there, my darlings. And that's much appreciated. All right. We've done the poll, haven't we? About ending the bus. Doing the bus thing. Good. Now, what's that? Should they turn it off? And what's that? Should they? Oh, here we go. Right. So we were talking about the gym that I belong to and all that. And it's very well run. The Village Gym in Bracknell. Village Gym, swimming pool and hotel, right? Do you think they should turn this off or not? It's in the Daily Express. Nuffield Health. Anyone ever been to a Nuffield Health gym? Or maybe you'll remember. We went to one in Wokingham. to use the swimming pool because we were going to join up. Because it's a nice little one. Well, first of all, we got there and it was really busy. This was at the time of they'd only just reopened after the pandemic. And it was busy and you had to book a slot. Except they seemed to be overbooking the slots, right? Honestly, it was one of the coldest pools I've ever been in my life. It was bloody freezing, this pool. Awful. Nuffield Health in Wokingham. So we took our leave. Thank you very much. Did you enjoy that? She says, hoping we're going to sign up as we go. No, we didn't. It's very, very cold. Oh, it might be a problem with it. I said, no, it's not the problem because I was a member here about 8 years ago and it was exactly the same then. When I joined there, it was fine. And then one of the boilers broke down and they never fixed it. It was freezing, this pool. And what made me cancel my membership was I got in there one day and the two boys who were looking after us all were sitting on a bench, huddled together. They were so cold. Well, that ain't right, is it? It should be hot around the pool. This pool was blooming freezing. Awful. Well, this is Nuffield Health. It's in the Daily Express. A note told Nuffield Health customers the gym had faced considerable rising utilities costs. Customers had shared their confusion and disappointment after a health centre, which charges customers £63 a month, announced it would be turning off its jacuzzis to cut down on energy costs. Well, why are you a member then? You can't be charging people an amount and then start turning stuff off. Either put the prices up or just leave. Leave. I'd leave. They started doing that. It's crazy. Nuffield Health's Derby branch has written to members to say that its jacuzzis would stop running as of this week, Monday, October the 3rd, and would not be turned back on again until the spring. How crazy is that? Thank you, Natalie. A 51-year-old patron told Derbyshire Live, I was not happy when I got the email. The jacuzzi isn't working anyway. The bubbles aren't on, so basically it's a bath. Oh dear. You've got to have bubbles in a jacuzzi, haven't you? How can you not have the bubbles on in a jacuzzi? That's crazy. It goes on. Last year, they shut it down for a few months because there was a leak. When this happened, I was thinking, what again? They say it's due to the energy crisis, but I don't understand. I pay £49 a month. I mean, I pay $48 at mine. Some people pay more. There are a lot of people that go there during the week. These companies have got to understand. You've got to take a bit less profit, mate. It's all greed. That's what it is. They want the money coming in, but they don't want to give you the bloody service. No, I'd be straight out of there. The note said Nuffield gyms use a significant amount of energy. Well, of course they do. That's what you do. You're a business and you provide all these things. They should be running. A letter to customers said Nuffield Health said this is to ensure we can conserve energy and allows us to keep our swimming pool, sauna and steam room open. And we know our members highly value and benefit from these facilities. Well, you've got to have the pool open. Are there swimming pools closing? Anyone know about that at all? Do you get closing swimming pools at the moment? Natalie loves the bubbles. Yeah, you love the drinking bottles out of a bottle, don't you, my love? Eh? Do you? Do you like the champagne? I do like a bit of champagne myself. Not that I have much, only when we're at afternoon tea. I think the next one's in December, for our December afternoon tea at Claridge's. Looking forward to that. Okie doke, boys and girls. I think we'll round up there then this evening. Yes, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. I can't believe I got through it until 10 to 10. I'm finishing a little bit earlier, but I really feel like I need a cup of tea and a little bit of a sustenance going around. And I hope tomorrow morning, if I get to sleep tonight, I'm hoping tomorrow morning I've completely recovered. Usually those side effects from vaccines, they're usually about 12 to 24 hours. And literally you go to bed and the next morning, problem gone, Hello to Jeff. Good evening, Jeff. Oh, you've joined us right at the end there, Jeff. Hello. Welcome to the show, Jeff. Okay. Tomorrow morning, what are you doing? I'm on the radio tomorrow morning. You can listen on your smart speaker. All you've got to do is say Amazon, play radio station, reach on air, or you can log in via phone. Just type that into the address bar. reachonair.com. All right, reachonair.com. Of course, no show for you next week, but I will endeavour to upload some Euro Disney videos of myself and my niece's family, and hopefully you'll enjoy those. All right. So thank you very much for watching and listening. I'll see you again very soon in 2 weeks' time on this channel. Bye bye now.